Hi, welcome to Vicky Makes and Builds and welcome to my holiday season video for 2023. So for this year's video I have gone with another Elena Essex puzzle. Last year I did her Christmas cornucopia puzzle. There's just something about Elena Essex puzzles and the colours in them. They're just so rich and lovely. You have lovely gradients going on, lots going on in the image, and I just saw this one and really liked it. It's not your atypical Christmas puzzle per se, but it is a winter in nature kind of puzzle. It's called Winter Spirit. This is it here. And what we've got on this image is basically a landscape, which is kind of fantastical. It almost looks like clouds, but standing on these different layers of landscape, which are all different colours, you've got all these lovely winter animals. So you've got this snowy owl up here, you've got this polar bear, you've got a little cat or something curled up there, you've got a sea lion, you've got a walrus, you've got a wolf, an Arctic fox, and of course a reindeer. So, and then obviously in the sky we've got this lovely green kind of gradient running through it. I don't know if it's meant to be like a nebula or something sort of akin to the Northern Lights, but you've also got these narwhals jumping the waves as well in the middle, and it's just really lovely. So I'm really looking forward to puzzling this for you today. But before I crack open the box and have a wee look at the pieces, here is a quick word from today's sponsor. This video is sponsored by Serious Readers, the lighting company. Since the Christmas holidays continue, I have been taking full advantage of my time off to piece together some of my puzzle gifts. There's nothing quite like building a Christmas puzzle by the light of the Christmas tree, but Christmas lights alone sadly don't cut it, and turning the main room light on really just makes it less cosy. That's where my Serious HD light comes in. This has quickly become my puzzling best friend. It can go with me anywhere and it can point where I need it to, whether I'm sitting at the table, on the sofa, or even on the floor. It adjusts to literally every situation, and I just love that. When I customised my HD light, one of the best decisions I made was to opt for the cordless light. It lasts for ages on a single charge, and living in a relatively small flat that is full of furniture, not having trailing cables that get tangled up around everything is a huge boon. It takes minutes just to grab myself a puzzle and my light and start puzzling as I watch TV or listen to music or listen to an audiobook. And as such, I have been doing a lot more puzzling, and that can never be a bad thing, right? So if you like the sound of more holiday puzzling, but you're held back by poor quality light, then I have an offer for you today. You can get £100 off a Serious HD light plus free UK delivery by just clicking on the link in the description below and entering the discount code SR496 once you've customised your light. And that's it. So now let's get back to the video. Okay, here it is. I can't wait to do this. The picture looks so lovely. Okay, so put the lid there. And it looks to have everything in it that my two other Elena Essex puzzles have. The Christmas cornucopia and also the round bird paradise puzzle that I did. We've got a little business card. It says Elena Essex on it, and there's a QR code for 10% off the entire next order. So that's really good. And then there's another wee card. It's got a flamingo on it, and it talks about leaving a customer review and what to do if you have a missing piece. And you also get a poster, which I really like. I like it when they give you posters in 1,000 piece puzzles. It's a lovely poster, and you can also see there's nothing obscuring it. On the box image there's a little square with the title of the puzzle and things like that on the box image, which kind of covers up the back of this polar bear a little bit, but there's none of that here, so you can see the whole image. But I'm going to put that to one side and just have a quick look at these pieces. The wee rummage. Do you know, it looks like there's loads of pieces here, but I think it's just because I've been doing mini puzzles for the entire month of December. So now a 1,000-piece puzzle just seems humongous by comparison. But these pieces look really good. I don't see any stuck together. We've got... It's a fairly shiny finish on the piece, but the colours look so good. And they're quite thick pieces. Look to be really good. So I'm looking forward to working with this puzzle. Now the question now is, what method do I use to build? I'm not so sure that I necessarily want to go for sorting this time. I have done a lot of puzzles where I've had to sort them recently, and you know, it would just be nice to just do a puzzle sort of leisurely, just the way I do them usually, I guess, which would be to kind of rummage through the pieces and just pick out similar colours and things like that, and maybe the edges first. So yeah, so I think I'm going to use my wee shuffle method on this. So what I'll do is I'll put all these pieces back in the box and I will get to rummaging and start building this lovely puzzle. Okay, so the shuffle method is proving a little messy at the minute, and to be honest, kind of frustrating. I sort of pulled out a load of sky pieces thinking that it would be easier than it is, but actually the sky takes up quite a lot of the puzzle, and I was finding that I'd pulled out bits that aren't necessarily sky, but they sort of look a bit like it. So dark pieces like this. And here, there's even a bit that looks a little bit like one of the stars, and then that's maybe one of the hills, but actually that is the back here of the polar bear. And there's just kind of a dark hill behind it. So it was just a bit tricky, and I had all those pieces out, which narrowed down the number of pieces I was shuffling in the box, but then again, it kind of took up a lot of space on the board. So what I've done is I've shifted those into this box here, just so they're out the way. I have pulled out a few of these owl pieces, because what I'm finding now is that the animal pieces are becoming easier to find and pick out. So you've got this pink owl with these spots and the wings, they're kind of obvious. Then this white dog came together. I just was finding bits of that in the box, and I put that together pretty quickly. These brown pieces that make up the walrus, and so on and so forth. I do have a few greens here which make up the bottom, which again I might come back to and possibly put to one side, but they're not too in the way at the moment. I've still got the top edge to do, but a lot of that similar colours, so I've only really got a little bit there, and a few others that I've just kind of left for now. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the rest of the pieces just sort of one at a time, turning them over, and any obvious animal pieces I find I will pull out. For example, this, which looks like the back legs of this Arctic fox there. So I'm going to do that. and try and get these animals together, and then work on things like the landscape, maybe on this water where these two narwhals are. I've got a little bit here that I managed to find in amongst the sky pieces, little bits of tail and sea. So I'm going to kind of just keep shuffling. May end up kind of giving up on that and sorting a little bit, but I've sort of started now, so maybe continue as I go on. I don't know, but just changing my direction a little bit, let's say. So we're going to take it from there. Okay, so I've managed to do all of this land area, and what I found was that once I'd done the animals, this light green part stuck out to me quite easily, and then these bright oranges. And what I also found was that a lot of these parts had like lines running through them, like here, here, and up here. So I was able to find pieces with that kind of feature in, and then the rest really came together a lot because of this kind of layering that's going on in the picture. So you've got this bit, and then on top of that is this, and then over that is this, and then you've got the back of this polar bear, then you've got it all going on up here. And so the transition pieces really between one part and another part were really quite easy to pick out, and eventually the more I was finding, the faster they were going in. So I've got that chunk really at the bottom done, and now it's time for me to fill in these sky pieces. So my strategy here is I've got sky pieces here, I've got a few up the edge there, then I've got some edge pieces as well as some here. These ones are ones I've picked out because they're really kind of bright green, and there's an area there just above the narwhals where it's quite a bright sort of green nebula type thing in the sky. So I think I'm going to concentrate on that first, and then maybe just work on kind of gradients. It's quite dark in this part of the puzzle, more sort of purpley. Then you've got obviously the green parts. It's dark just above the landscape here, and then just fill in the gaps really. And by the time I get to the point hopefully where I might need to sort of shape sort a bit, then there won't be too many pieces left. So I'm hopeful this sky will come together fairly quickly now. But just got to work on kind of the colours in the sky and the gradient element to it. Okay, so my winter spirit puzzle is finished, and that sky was actually quite difficult. There was some quite difficult elements to this puzzle. I didn't expect that. I shape sorted it early on. It was just going to be the easiest way to do it, but there weren't too many pieces, different shapes and things, so it wasn't too bad. There was, as I said at the beginning of the video, a little bit of a gradient running through that sky. But one thing that I didn't expect is that I had a couple of false fits in that sky area. Where there were stars and things, it wasn't so bad, and there were a lot of stars up in the sky, but there were little areas where, you know, there weren't any stars, and actually I would put a piece in and it would fit perfectly, but it was not quite right. So it was easy to see and pretty easy to swap out and fix it, but I didn't expect there to be false fits. I did have 2 or 3 maybe in that sky, but I just loved the colours in this puzzle. I loved the colours in the whole image, from the dark sky with the lovely green running through it in contrast to that pink owl, and then all this layered kind of landscape that was all different bright colours. In fact, the landscape at the start, building all of that was so much fun, and building all the animals, I really enjoyed that part of the puzzle. But another thing I found with this puzzle is that I actually regretted not sorting it. I actually missed having sorted this puzzle. I know, words I never ever thought I would say. I think maybe I've just done so many puzzles recently, with me doing all the large puzzles and stuff that I've done so many that require a decent sort, and I've got so used to doing it that way that I actually kind of missed having done it in this one. I kind of just thought, well, I'll go with my normal shuffle method and do it leisurely. But once I pulled out edge pieces and then a whole bunch of sky pieces, I was getting a bit overwhelmed with the amount of pieces. And although it was handy to remove the sky pieces from the equation and get them out of the way, it kind of made other things easier to find. I sort of thought, yeah, I wouldn't have had this problem if I'd have just sorted it. But I quickly got over it once I realised that, you know, the way to start was with the animals and with this landscape at the bottom. Then it was just so fun to put together. But honestly, I never thought in a month of Sundays that I would miss having sorted a puzzle. But there we have it. I still enjoyed it. Overall, I thought the puzzle was really lovely. The pieces were nice. They were good quality. They were a decent thickness, but I did find that the surface was just a little bit shiny. However, I didn't have any problems with glare. I have softbox lights in here, so I don't generally have that issue. But I would have liked maybe a slightly more matte finish on the pieces. But that's just a personal taste thing, really. And I love this puzzle. I really enjoyed putting it together. I'm so glad I did it for my festive holiday video. And I really hope that you enjoyed it as well. I've actually got another video scheduled to release tomorrow on Christmas Day. It's days 13 to 24, the remaining days of my Gibson's Puzzle Advent Calendar. This one here, which I showed you on a recent puzzle haul that I did. I've already put up videos for days 1 to 6 and 7 to 12, but I'm doing this one as a longer, just the last 12 days video, and I'm going to put it up on Christmas Day for you all to enjoy. So, wee Christmas gift from me to you, and I just want to thank you so much for being with me all year long, for watching my channel and puzzling along with me, and for all your support. I thank you so very much, and I really wish you all a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!